Every day you meet people. In the elevator, at coffee shops, during meetings. Words are exchanged, smiles are shared, yet true connection feels rare. Why do some people instantly light up a room while others fade into the background? The secret isn't magic, it's method. In this story, we'll unlock 25 life-changing techniques from how to talk to anyone that reveal how to read emotions, project confidence, and make anyone feel deeply seen, heard, and remembered. Picture this, a room filled with chatter, laughter, and movement. Then someone walks in. They are not the loudest, not the flashiest, yet heads subtly turn. Conversations slow. There is something magnetic about them, an invisible gravity that draws people in. Before a single word escapes their lips, their body has already begun a conversation with the entire room. This is the unspoken language, the silent art of presence. Our words carry meaning, but our bodies carry truth. Every gesture, breath, and glance sends silent messages about who we are and how we feel. People decide whether they trust or respect you within seconds, often before you speak. That is why learning to talk without words is one of the most powerful communication skills you can ever master. Start with the flooding smile. It is not the quick, mechanical grin you flash to everyone. It is a smile that feels real, like sunlight breaking through clouds. When you meet someone's eyes, pause for a moment. Then let your smile slowly spread, as if it is rising from your heart. This small delay makes it look sincere, not staged. It tells the other person, "I see you, and I'm happy you're here." Then practice sticky eyes. Most people look away too quickly. But when you hold eye contact just a second longer, it signals genuine interest. It tells the other person that you value what they are saying. Be careful though, it should feel natural, not like a staring contest. The goal is connection, not intimidation. Next is the big baby pivot. When someone approaches you, do not just turn your head. Turn your whole body, shoulders, feet, and all, toward them. This simple action communicates full attention. It is what babies do instinctively when they see someone they love. It says, "You have all of me right now." Then there is limit the fidget. Nervous movements like tapping your fingers or adjusting your clothes too often drain your authority. Confidence lives in stillness. Calm body, calm mind. When you control your movements, you control the room. To complete the picture, learn to own the space. Walk a little slower. Stand tall. Take a deep breath before entering a room. Move with purpose, not rush. People who seem to belong anywhere they go are simply those who claim that belonging through posture and pace. Finally, assume they already like you. This mental trick transforms your body language instantly. When you believe you are accepted, your shoulders relax, your gestures soften, your eyes warm up. Connection flows naturally. Takeaway: your words start conversations, but your presence starts relationships. Long before you speak, your body whispers your story. Make sure it tells the right one. There is a story of a man who attended a dinner party and spent 10 minutes talking to a quiet guest. The next day, he told everyone, "She was one of the best conversationalists I have ever met." The truth. She hardly said a word. She simply listened, not the passive, polite kind of listening, but the kind that makes someone feel completely seen. That is the secret power of listening. In a noisy world where everyone wants to be heard, the greatest gift you can give someone is your silence. The kind of silence that holds attention, not emptiness. Deep listening is not about nodding and waiting for your turn to speak. It is about creating a space where the other person feels that their thoughts matter. Start with echo their emotion. When people share their experiences, they want to feel understood, not corrected. If someone says, "I am exhausted," do not rush to offer advice. Instead, reflect their emotion. "That sounds really draining." This simple response acts like a mirror. It tells them, "I feel what you feel." That emotional echo builds instant trust. Then practice the power pause. Silence can be uncomfortable, but it is also magnetic. After someone finishes speaking, wait 1 or 2 seconds before replying. That small pause gives the impression of depth, as if you are truly processing their words. It slows down the conversation and adds weight to everything you say next. It also gives the speaker the chance to add more, often revealing what really matters. Next, lead with your calm. Energy is contagious. When you meet someone anxious or agitated, resist the temptation to mirror their tension. Instead, stay steady, grounded, and relaxed. Your calm will quietly invite them to settle down. In conversations, the one who stays calm holds the power. The undivided gaze is another secret weapon. Put away distractions. No phone glances, no wandering eyes. When you give someone your full attention, it feels like a spotlight of respect. People remember how you made them feel, not what you said. Looking directly and attentively at them tells a powerful story. You matter. Then use the triple nod technique. When the other person is finishing a thought, nod 3 times, slowly and naturally. This unconscious cue encourages them to keep sharing. It says, "I am listening, and I want to hear more." It deepens the rhythm of connection without a single word. Finally, create me too moments. When you discover shared experiences or emotions, say, "I know what you mean," or "I felt the same." These small bridges transform you and me into us. Connection begins when people realize they are not alone. For English learners, this is a perfect exercise in active listening. Try repeating or paraphrasing what you hear in English. For example, if someone says, "I love reading at night," you can respond, "So you like reading before bed?" It helps you practice comprehension, rhythm, and empathy all at once. Takeaway: listening is not about waiting to talk. It is about giving someone the space to exist fully in your presence. Words can persuade, but listening can transform. When you master the art of listening, you do not just hear people, you make them feel heard. Words are not just sounds that leave our mouths. They are bridges, ladders, or sometimes walls. The way you speak can open hearts or quietly close them forever. People may forget what you said, but they will never forget how your words made them feel. Speaking with emotional intelligence is not about being smooth or charming. It is about understanding emotion, both yours and theirs, and using your voice to create safety and connection. Start with use their name early. A person's name is the most personal sound in the world. It is a verbal fingerprint, a reminder that they exist and matter. When you greet someone, do not rush past it. Say their name slowly, with warmth and attention. "Good morning, Anna," feels very different from a plain, "Hey." It signals, "I see you." Use it early in the conversation, not just at the end. When people hear their name spoken with genuine tone, they subconsciously feel closer to you. Next, practice ask open-ended questions. Closed questions end with yes or no. Open-ended ones invite stories, thoughts, and emotions. Instead of asking, Did you have a good day? Try, what made your day interesting? The second question hands the microphone to the other person and says, tell me more. The more space you create for others to express themselves, the deeper the bond becomes. Now, the jewel of connection, the soul compliment. Ordinary compliments focus on the surface. Nice outfit, you're so smart, that was great. But soul compliments reach deeper. I admire how calm you stay under pressure, or your kindness makes people feel safe. This kind of recognition touches something sacred. It acknowledges not what they do, but who they are. Then, try to speak to their future. Most people see themselves through their flaws and failures. Be the person who speaks to their potential. Say things like, you have a gift for understanding people, or, I can see you leading others one day. When you speak to the best version of someone, you awaken it. Your words become prophecy. Do not forget the magic words. These are not long speeches or poetic phrases. They are small, simple expressions that instantly build emotional safety. I understand. You don't have to explain. Thank you for trusting me. These sentences say, you are safe here. They melt walls faster than any logic ever could. And above all, let them finish. When you interrupt, you break the invisible rhythm of respect. Let their thought come to its natural end. The silence of patience speaks louder than advice. It says, your voice matters. Here is a mini practice. Choose one person today. Use their name warmly. Ask one deep question that cannot be answered with yes or no. Give a compliment that touches their character. Then listen without interruption. Watch how their face softens, how the conversation slows, how the connection deepens. Takeaway: words are not weapons or tools. They are living things that can heal or harm. When spoken from empathy, they build bridges between hearts. Speak not to impress, but to express understanding. When your voice carries warmth, people will not just hear you, they will feel you. Picture this, a crowded room filled with noise, chatter, and laughter. People are exchanging words like passing coins, fast, polite, and empty. But somewhere in the corner, two people are speaking softly, eyes steady, completely absorbed in each other's presence. Time seems to slow down around them. Why? Because they are not just talking, they are connecting. Most conversations stay at the surface. We talk about weather, work, or the latest movie. These are safe, predictable, and forgettable. But when you learn to move beyond small talk, when you dare to be emotionally present, something shifts. The room disappears, and understanding takes its place. This is the art of emotional connection. Start with let silence speak. In our world of constant noise, silence feels uncomfortable. We rush to fill it with advice or opinions. But silence, when used with care, becomes powerful. Sometimes, the most healing thing you can offer is your presence, a quiet, I'm here with you, without words. When someone shares pain or vulnerability, you don't need the perfect answer. Just stay. Your silence says, you're not alone. Next, try repeat their last few words. This technique sounds simple, but it works like magic. When someone says, I've been so tired lately, you softly repeat, so tired. It shows that you are truly listening and invites them to go deeper. This gentle echo signals empathy. It turns small talk into soul talk. Then comes genuine vulnerability. Many people wear masks, confidence, perfection, humor, anything to hide their insecurities. But true strength lies in gentle honesty. You do not need to confess your deepest fears, just share something real. Say, "I sometimes feel that way too," or "I used to struggle with that." Vulnerability is contagious. When you reveal a piece of yourself, others feel safe to do the same. That is how trust begins, not through flawless words, but through shared humanity. Now, the secret ingredient, the only one in the room effect. This is the ability to make someone feel like they are the only person that matters, even in a crowded space. When you focus entirely, eyes, body, mind, everything else fades. You stop checking your phone, you stop planning your next sentence. You see them. That kind of focus is rare and unforgettable. It tells the other person, right now, nothing is more important than you. For English learners, emotional connection is also a language skill. You can practice it with short, empathetic phrases such as, "That must be hard," "I felt that too," or "I understand how that feels." These simple sentences can make your conversations more human and meaningful. Takeaway: true connection begins where performance ends. It is not about impressing others with words but about meeting them in truth. When you dare to be real, to listen deeply, to stay silent when needed, to show small cracks in your armor, you invite others to drop theirs too. That is when two people stop speaking from the mind and start speaking from the heart. Imagine someone walks into a room. They are not the loudest, not the funniest, not even the most beautiful person there. Yet, somehow, everyone turns to look. Conversations pause for half a second. There is something magnetic about them, a quiet pull, a presence that cannot be explained but can always be felt. That, my friend, is charisma. Many people think charisma means being outgoing or commanding attention. But true charisma has little to do with volume or charm. It is about energy. It is the ability to make others feel seen, valued, and at ease in your presence. Charisma is not performance. It is presence. Lead with warmth, not volume. You do not need to fill a room with noise to stand out. A calm tone, steady eye contact, and genuine interest speak louder than any dramatic story. People are drawn to warmth because it feels safe. When you radiate warmth, others relax, and once they relax, they open up. Next comes confidence through stillness. Nervous energy leaks through constant movement, tapping, fidgeting, checking your phone. Stillness, on the other hand, communicates inner control. Great communicators use pauses and deliberate movements. When you stay composed, people read you as competent and trustworthy. Remember, the calm person in a storm becomes the leader, even without saying a word. Then, make people feel important. Charisma begins with attention. Notice small details others overlook, the effort someone put into their presentation, the way a colleague helped another quietly, the barista's tired smile. When you express appreciation to people who rarely receive it, you create emotional gravity. Everyone wants to be around the person who makes them feel valued. Gentle touch is another powerful, and often underestimated, form of connection. When culturally and contextually appropriate, a light touch on the arm or shoulder can express understanding and warmth far beyond words. It must be brief, natural, and respectful. Used correctly, it bridges the emotional gap between two people. Finally, practice the power of pause and reflect. In our fast-talking, quick-reply world, those who take a breath before answering command attention. Silence, when intentional, is not emptiness, it is elegance. It signals that your words matter because they come from thought, not impulse. As the saying goes, the smarter the mind, the longer the pause. Great leaders use silence like a sculptor uses clay, shaping meaning, not just filling space. Here is a small exercise. During your next English conversation, slow down. Listen fully, breathe, and answer with intention. You will notice how your words start to carry more weight, and how people begin to lean in when you speak. Charisma, at its core, is not about you at all. It is about how you make others feel when they are with you. You do not need to dominate attention, you simply need to direct it with grace. Takeaway: influence begins not with power, but with presence. The most magnetic people are not those who demand the spotlight, but those who bring light wherever they go. When you master stillness, warmth, and awareness, you do not chase connection, you attract it naturally. Here is a truth few people admit: great communicators are not born with charm in their DNA. They built it, one conversation at a time. Just like athletes train their muscles and musicians rehearse their scales, people who speak with power and grace practice their communication. Every smile, every pause, every choice of words is a small act of training. Think of communication as a science experiment. And you are the scientist. You test, observe, adjust, and test again. The goal is not perfection, but awareness. Each interaction gives you data to refine how you connect. Start with the connection journal. This is your private lab notebook. At the end of the day, write down 3 quick reflections. What went well in your conversations today? What moments felt awkward or disconnected? What can you try differently next time? Over time, patterns emerge. You will notice, for example, that people open up more when you use their name, or that they respond better when you slow your speech. These small insights compound like interest, invisible at first, powerful over time. Next, apply the principle of micro-practice. Instead of trying to change everything, focus on one small behavior at a time. 1 week, practice smiling a heartbeat slower to make it more genuine. The next week, maintain eye contact just a moment longer. Another week, focus on asking open-ended questions. These micro-adjustments build habits that stay with you for life. Now treat your conversations like field experiments. Study reactions like data. Notice how people lean forward when you pause before responding. Observe how their tone softens when you mirror their emotion. Do not judge success by how smooth you sound. Measure it by how connected the other person feels. For English learners, this approach is especially powerful. Communication in another language is not only about vocabulary, it is about rhythm, tone, and clarity. Record your voice when you speak or read aloud. Listen to the playback. Do you sound confident, curious, or hesitant? Adjust your tone. Try again. This self-feedback loop trains your speaking muscles faster than any textbook. Now, take on the 30-day challenge. For the next month, choose one new social skill to master each week. Week 1. The flooding smile. Make your smile slower and warmer. Week 2. The undivided gaze. Practice full attention without distractions. Week 3. The power pause. Wait a second before replying to add depth. Week 4. The soul compliment. Give one genuine, meaningful compliment a day. By the end of 30 days, you will not just talk differently, you will feel different. Your awareness will sharpen, your confidence will rise, and your presence will expand. Remember, you cannot control how people perceive you, but you can design the energy you bring into every interaction. When your words, tone, and presence align, you become unforgettable. Takeaway: communication is not a mystery to be solved, it is a skill to be sculpted. The more you observe, the faster you grow. Speak less to impress, and more to connect. Every conversation is a classroom if you are willing to learn. Do you really connect? That was the question we started with. You have walked through the language of the body, the art of listening, the music of the voice, and the quiet power of presence. Now you stand at the threshold of transformation, where communication stops being a skill and becomes a way of being. Real connection is not built on charm, technique, or rehearsed gestures. It is built on the simple magic of presence. The people who light up every room do not talk the most, they make others feel seen. They smile as if time has slowed down just for this moment. They listen as if your words matter more than the noise of the world. Smile slowly. Not the quick, automatic kind that flickers and disappears, but the kind that arrives with intention, soft, genuine, and full of warmth. It tells the other person, "You are welcome here." Listen deeply. When you listen without interrupting, something extraordinary happens. People begin to relax. They feel safe. They reveal their real selves. Deep listening is not passive. It is active empathy in motion. You do not just hear words, you hear the feelings behind them. Speak kindly. Your tone can heal or harm. Choose words that build bridges, not walls. When you speak with kindness, people remember how you made them feel long after they forget what you said. A kind voice carries farther than a loud one ever will. Treat every person as if they are the only one in the room. This is the golden rule of true charisma. It does not require beauty, wealth, or status. It only requires attention, full, undivided, and genuine. When you give someone your complete focus, you give them a rare gift in a distracted world. For English learners, this transformation goes beyond language. As your words grow clearer, so does your heart. Each conversation becomes a practice of connection, not just speaking English, but living it. The more you practice presence, the more natural your confidence becomes. In the end, becoming the kind of person everyone loves to talk to is not about learning new techniques. It is about remembering something ancient. People want to feel understood, valued, and respected. So walk into the next conversation with calm eyes, a gentle smile, and a curious heart. Because when you master these, you do not just talk to anyone, you connect with everyone. And that is how ordinary conversations turn into unforgettable moments.